What's up, guys? Welcome to today's class or episode. What I will be sharing today is something that is very, very important to me. And the reason it's important to me is because it's one of the mindsets that has held people bound in porn. And I'm going to be sharing lies that you've been told about porn, which is why you found it very difficult to actually quit that habit of porn. Let me establish that porn is a habit. First, it's a habit that has been formed over time by exposure to erotic scenes, it could be videos, it could be magazines, or through other means. So the first lie I'm going to debunk in this video is that porn is a spiritual problem. That is very far from the truth. I know that there has been a lot of propaganda spread around concerning porn and how it is a spiritual issue where there is a particular demon that is holding you down, all this kind of stuff. But I want to help you this evening, and I want you to accept this truth first, that porn is not a spiritual problem. Now, let me give you a typical example. The reasons why I say porn is not a spiritual problem. The first reason why I say so is you've gone to church, you've met a pastor, or you've met an imam, and he has prescribed some things to you. Sometimes they can even pray for you, give you advice and several things that they've told you. Now you've fasted, you've prayed, and most times you discover that even after fasting and praying, you still fail. The second thing is that no matter the amount of spiritual discipline you must have exposed yourself to, for example, the fasting thing that I talked about, you still find out that once you stop those spiritual practices or programs, you still relapse into using porn and sometimes ending up masturbating. So this is a proof to you that it is beyond a spiritual thing. Now I know that most times a lot of things have been spiritualized. People have everything is given a spiritual connotation. But I want you to understand today that there is no correlation between porn and spirituality. Porn is basically a neurological, porn addiction rather, is basically a neurological matter. In my subsequent videos, I will take time to talk about why it is very hard for some persons who may have, done all spiritual things and still find themselves in that pit of porn use addiction. So porn use is actually, or porn addiction is as a result of the brain being hijacked. The chemical, the neurotransmitter produced by your brain that informs you that a particular thing is going to be rewarding hijacks your brain. It is actually an evolutionary mechanism that has been developed by humans. The ability to, spread your gene around. So that part of your brain hijacks your neurological mechanism, making you crave even for more. So no matter the amount of prayer, no matter the amount of fasting that you've done, or no matter the amount of spiritual activities that you must have done, you still find yourself going back. So why not take time and think about it? Why not take time and agree with me that porn is far from being a spiritual problem? So take that out of your mind. So that is the first lie that you need to debunk from your mind, that porn is a spiritual problem. It is not. It's a neurological problem, which if you understand, or when you understand it, you will get free from it easily. All right. So another thing that I want you to understand is that the mind, a man is a sum total of the content of his mind. That is to say, the mind operates on the principle of giggle, that is garbage in, garbage out. Now, if you expose yourself to erotic materials, erotic videos, erotic magazines, you are likely to relapse into the use of porn. So this is one thing that you must pay attention to. Please, if you can get this, I tell you that at least you've done 40% of work towards your freedom from the use of porn and then masturbation. The second thing I want to debunk, the second lie that I want to debunk, because there was a time I posted a post on Facebook, and some persons argued that porn is another means of exercising or knowing your sexuality. You know, it's a means of learning or, you know, familiarizing yourself with your sexuality. Can I tell you something? Porn does not teach you about sex. That is the truth. Porn teaches violence. So the second thing I want to say is that some persons say that porn has no side effect. It's quite funny. Can I tell you sincerely from personal experience that there is what we call porn-induced erectile dysfunction. Doctors recently have been faced with individuals within the age range of 20 to 40 having problem maintaining erection. Now we have porn-induced erectile dysfunction in the area of premature ejaculation, and then we have delayed ejaculation. These are the two things that could result. Is this not a side effect? So porn on its own has a side effect. So don't let anyone tell you that there are no side effects, so you don't mind using it, even if you use it once a week. Can I tell you that even that once a week is going to condition you to the point where you may develop certain health challenges as a result of use of porn. Then, let me also tell you something. Men who use porn have another side effect. They objectify women. They see women as sex objects. So, the only thing they see women for is sex, nothing else. Is this also a side effect? Then, you talked about men finding themselves easily becoming irritable and depressed in the process of using porn. They isolate themselves from people, neglecting important areas of their life, having problems with sex in real life, constantly feeling bad about themselves, and engaging in risky behaviors like visiting strip clubs, paying for sex, and even meeting up strangers who they met online. So are these not side effects? So these two things are the first two things that I want to share with you today. So as you watch this video, I want you to know the danger or the negative impact of using porn. And if you are watching me and you are using porn, please, I beg you, not because of moral or religious reason, quit using porn. You will find your life becoming better by quitting that habit. Thank you. I also want to ask that you subscribe to this channel so that and hit the notification bell so that you'll be able to get notified on subsequent videos.